I wrote a book. It's been an 18-month plus project, and I just want to talk about, how hard it's been and all the things that I've done. What I did is I had gone to a seminar down in San Diego with Darren Hardy, who's part of his high performance forum, and he challenged everyone who was there to write a book. So I did, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna write a book, and I got all excited, and I was writing and writing, and I got about 20,000 words in. And I was like, well, we should test some of this material. And so, I have a marketing company, so we tested some of the material and everybody hated it. No one liked any of the ideas. And I'm not even gonna tell you what it's about. So I threw out 25,000 words. I just hit delete and that was it. One of the things that happened was that during that process, I kind of learned how to write. Like I got into the rhythm of writing every single day for a couple of hours. And right about that time was when I was going through the whole process of, what was working with our marketing, what was not. And, we work with a lot of different clients in different industries. I had been putting all the pieces together of, the book now is called Primal Storytelling, Content Marketing for Humans. And I had put all the elements together. And so then over the next year, I was writing sections. And then as we would write a section, I would test it with real people, with real clients, with, on projects, just to see what was working, what wasn't. As I wrote and rewrote again, and then I got all the way up until the summer, and I had a really good draft. I was up over, I think, 75,000 words. I started doing the first real edit, and I realized about another 25,000, almost 25,000 words didn't work. So I did another big cut. We're down to 53,000 or so words now, but now it's 53,000 pretty good words. And I've done a lot of testing, and people are really starting to ring with it. This last part is I'm just working on the ending, how do you close up a guide on how to create brand content? It's not easy. I mean, I have spent hundreds and hundreds of hours, and I'm not a great writer at all, and so there's days I'll write for 2+ hours, 3+ hours and only get a couple of hundred usable words. There's a few other times where I'll just be in the zone and knock out a few thousand at a time, but I wish that's those days are few and far between. So the reason that I wanted to document this part of the process is because, we've tested Primal Storytelling with a number of clients over the last year. It's working like blockbuster. Every single client has really loved it. And what I'm trying to do now is finish off that last little bit. It's everyone says, the last 2%, the last 3% of a project is, 90% hard. And for me especially, this closing it up has been really tough, finding the right happy ending. What I'm trying to do now is just document that process, what I'm going through, because at the same time I'm running an agency, I run the Side Hustle Academy. I also run a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu club called Bear Hug Jiu-Jitsu. So my life is just insane. It's been a process, and I just want to share it. I think it's a good learning point for others to see what it takes to get a small business moving and keep it going. For all the side hustlers out there that are trying to find, just a little extra money and whatnot, is it's not easy to make money, okay? It's easy to spend money, but it's not easy to make money. And this is kind of what it takes, and it's what it takes to run a business. And I just think documenting that is valuable for the whole community. Yeah, so I've been a storyteller my whole life, but there was a series of things that happened for me to put together the Primal Storytelling structure. And one of the things that happened was, one of the pieces of the puzzle was actually, I got hurt really bad. I was at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and there's this really large guy I was training at, Marcelo Garcia's place in New York City. And, one thing led to another, and I was trying to pass this guard, and he was stopping me, and I got a giant black eye. I mean, it just I smacked his knee, just, brute force. And at the time I was working at a tech startup, and I was pitching hedge funds and, wealth management companies and all of these really, really large, financial management companies. So every meeting is suit and tie, really fancy conference rooms, Rembrandt's on the wall, that kind of thing. And I was showing up with this big black eye. And inevitably, everyone would ask me hey, what happened to your eye? What's wrong? And I was like, oh, I got mugged, or I got in a fight with a homeless guy, and I would just make a joke out of it. But then I would tell them about jiu-jitsu, and, a lot of really successful people in New York City are executives and they train jujitsu. It's just this odd thing. And one of the things that happened is I would go to these meetings and I'm pitching them our tech services and product, and I'm telling them this story about jujitsu fighting and my black eye. And that story helped me make a connection. And it's funny, like months later, I didn't even realize like how well that story worked. And it wasn't even a plan. It just happened by accident. Well, I went back and, months and months later, and I was looking back through my pipeline and all the deals that I had pitched. And I realized deals where I told the black eye story in jiu-jitsu, I closed a much higher percentage of those deals than deals that I didn't. And I didn't realize at first, but it was the story that really made the difference, because everything else was the same. The pitch was the same. My slideshow was the same. It just happened I had this black eye and I told that story. Like those were the connections. Like those stories is what made all the difference. But then there was another element to it, was that in each one of them, they had a number of different emotional elements. And so then when I started getting this idea around, okay, primal emotions and, primal stories, primal storytelling, it kind of came together. And I had asked the question, was like, why do people connect with some things but not others? And when I started thinking about it, I started researching and digging into the actual, what are psychologists and psychiatrists, what does the science say about emotions? What does the science say about why people make decisions? And that's when it all came together. And I had been writing another book and, all about tech stuff, just like my first book was on technology management. It was called Cracking the IT Code. That book is the cure for insomnia. It got great feedback from CFOs, but you put it next to your bedside if you need to sleep better at night. Boring book. And anyway, when I finally had that epiphany of primal storytelling, I threw out, 25,000 words in my other book. It's in the garbage somewhere. And I started the new one and it just absolutely took off. And the good news is I've been able to test the structure and how I'm explaining things and how people understand what it is I'm trying to show them. And I've been able to refine it over the last 18 months. And it's just gotten better and better and better. And I've gone out and I've spoken, given different seminars and things and see what really works and what doesn't. And, now I'm in, and I think right now, today we're at 53,417 words, and I'm finishing up the edits on the first few preliminary chapters, and I'm at the end. And we're at the end, and these last few chapters are really about how does an organization plan and execute the primal storytelling structure in their business and really make it authentic for them. Okay, so it's interesting. You can have two businesses in the exact same industry, similar processes, similar products, similar services, but they have a completely different story. And making those stories authentic to them and really just perfect for them, that's the real secret. That's been the secret sauce. And so this last few chapters, what I'm doing is, really putting together some case studies, some examples of things that really, really worked that you can use for a structure for your business. And remember, every business is a little bit different, but they all have similarities. And here's the thing. Everyone you're marketing to is human, and everyone is they're going to react in very similar ways. Not everyone is the same. Obviously, there's the outliers, and people have different likes and dislikes, but the structure is the same. And storytelling is one of those things that's been with us since the invention of fire. It's never going away. No matter what the search engines do, no matter what changes in marketing, no matter the technology changes, stories are still going to be with us. This is going to be an evergreen process. I think that long after I'm dead, people will still be using this process and they're going to get a lot out of it, and it's still going to be working. That's my real goal. And so I'm putting a lot into this last part of the book just to make it an evergreen process that you can take, use it as a textbook, apply it to your business and start growing. That's the plan. So you're going to hear a lot more about these last pieces. If you have any comments, you have any thoughts, things you want to share with me, you got any good stories, I'd love to hear some examples of how storytelling worked for your business. okay? Because my real goal with Primal Storytelling is I look at so much brand content. I have audited thousands of websites from brands, anywhere from little mom and pop shops up to billion-dollar companies. And when I see their content marketing failing over and over again, I see the exact same thing. Talking about themselves, boring as can be, lots of acronyms, lots of stuff about the industry. They're marketing for the search engine. Okay, they're writing for search engines. They're not talking to people. They're not marketing to people. That's why this is Primal Storytelling, content marketing for people. You know, it's got to be authentic. It's got to have something real to it. I think the number one thing that every brand could do is just be more human. People want less automation. They want more humanity. You know, they want more authenticity. And that's the difference between winning and failing. And for those who are going to win in the next few years, they're going to tell the best stories. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe down below. Hey guys, this is one of my very first videos. A like and subscription now really makes a big difference for us. I appreciate it. There's going to be lots more to come. Also, you can find me on Instagram and Facebook. It's Anthony L. Butler. Links are in the description below. Hey, I hope to see you soon. And if you don't like and subscribe, I will find you!